Okay, here you go, as promised. Things you need to do to prepare for a very long trip.
He's waiting to see. He's waiting to see what. He doesn't have to do anything.
No, he just wants to know when it's time to get in the van.
In fact, he gets in the van before, as soon as he sees us packing stuff, he gets in the van. Even if he's going to sit there an hour, he's going to make
more.
Sure he can sit there that whole time. Make sure.
Yeah.
Hey, those are you that are just joining us. This is Herky, and he won't stick around long. In fact, we're going to let him play.
Okay.
Alrighty, so
he's looking at you.
We decided we're gonna continue on. We had these 5 things series,
right?
But
and we
have more than 5 things this time,
right? And we're gonna do these 5 things again. But this has been requested by several people as to like what did we do to get ready to be gone as long as we were in 2022.
We get emails a lot, almost every month, of somebody that's taken off on a long journey where they're going to be gone for 3 months.
And ask us different questions. So we've just compiled them all together. And so here we go.
Not in any order.
No. So the first thing you need to do, first thing we do is we turn off the hot water heater. You want to explain that?
Yes. So on most hot water heaters, there's a little switch on there that says vacation. And you can switch it on there. If you have electric hot water heater, just go and turn it off at the breaker panel there. You don't want your water heater cycling off and on while you're gone, heating water that you're never going to use. It's a waste of money. So,
right, yeah.
So take a look. So we happen to have a gas heater. So you can get on there and look down there. There's a little switch that you can flick and turn the heater off, and that way it doesn't come on while you're gone.
Right. Another thing we do is we unplug everything in the house. Lamps, anything that's plugged in, we unplug it.
So there's some reasons why you want to do that. There are things that have they call it parasitic draw. So like your television, even though it's off, it's sitting there pulling power, because when you hit your remote, it needs to be able to turn on and things like that. So you want to unplug those. Also, if your house took a lightning strike or a voltage spike or something like that, you wouldn't want to lose those electronic items. So you'd want to turn those off.
Right. What's the next thing? Cover your furniture. I went to Goodwill and bought just a bunch of flat sheets. Of course, they don't have to match. And just covered everything in the house. Tables, couch, chairs.
The reason being is she doesn't like to dust all that stuff.
I don't.
You'd be surprised. So if you close your house up for 3 months,
right,
you come back in and there's spider webs and you wouldn't believe.
Right. So you got to clean up the spider webs. There's no getting around that. But you just carefully take off these sheets, put them right in the washer, and you don't have to dust. I didn't have to.
So a lot of people have asked us about our mail, how we handle our mail. So now
at the post office, you can only stop it for 30 days.
So what I would say is that they have this thing called informed delivery at the post office. It's an app on your phone. If you don't have it, I think most people have it nowadays, but if you don't have it, you want to do that. So you can see on your email and on your app the mail that's coming in to see if it's important or not. With us, most of it's not important.
No, because we pay all of our major bills online. So what comes in the mail is
junk, but there is occasionally something that you want to take a look at.
Yeah. Every now and then.
We also have this nifty mailbox here. I'm going to show you that when you put the mail in the top, it drops down into a locked box below. Now,
it'll hold up to I would say 3.5 weeks, maybe 4 weeks.
Almost a month worth of mail.
And and we have an excellent next door neighbor, and what she did for us is once a month she would get the key, go get it, and I had a basket right inside the garage, and she'd just throw it in that.
Or if we had something that we needed dug out of there, she could get that out of there and see. So,
and we had prepaid envelopes. Ed got them at the post office, and if there was something that we needed, she could put it in that, seal it, and
drop it off, and we can have it mailed to a campground where we're at, or such
just tell her
as that.
the address where we're at. Yeah,
that's. I got this mailbox off of Amazon. I'll try to remember to put the link in here below, but if not, you can look it up. They sell them at Lowe's and Home Depot, but I found one on Amazon that was in like the Amazon returns, and I saved about $30 on that by doing. They're about $100, so $120.
But they're worth it. I mean, and we still obviously have.
We still use
stuff.
it.
Yeah. Turn off the internet. You're not going to be using it.
So we decided to turn it off. Now there is some people that have security systems tied to the internet.
Right. Yeah.
And there some people have their thermostats and check on the house. If that's your case, then
leave it on.
Leave it on. But you can also switch to a lower data plan. So we have, like a tiered system here at our house, and we pay for high speed internet because we use it.
Right.
Making these videos and some of the work I do.
Yeah.
But switch it down to the lowest possible data plan that you can if you're going to keep it.
And along with that, I mean, if you're not going to be here 3-4 months, would suspend your cable also.
Yeah, all your
cable TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Turn off the water. We had friends at the Mississippi rally who got a phone call that their pipes were leaking and their house was flooded. They had a lot of damage.
The other thing that happened is your ice maker on your refrigerator can cycle through and overflow. That's happened to people. And
right.
So, I'll show you here. I have this. I made, because we leave a lot, and it's something that's on my mind. On the main line coming in, I put a valve there. It didn't cost me very much money to cut the main line and put this valve in. So all I have to do is just pull the valve closed, and it shuts it off. So if you're going to be leaving a lot, I would recommend that. If not, shut your water off where it comes in at the house.
Yeah, out the road, right? Mm-hmm. This probably goes without saying, but I put a little Pine Sol in all the drains. Mm-hmm. Tub, shower, sinks. It just, I don't know, it just helps. I've just always done that.
The other thing we found is, like with the toilets, if you leave water in the bowl and then you leave the lid shut, that'll mildew all on the inside of there.
So we leave the lids up on our toilet too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And she puts either toilet bowl cleaner or Pine Sol in the toilets themselves.
Right.
So
another thing is damp rid. We have a utility closet where our furnace is and all that stuff, and I keep a thing of damp rid in there just in case. I don't like to come home to a smelly house, like damp, not musty. Moldy, but musty house. I just don't like that. So damp rid. I also keep a damp rid in the Runaway in like a little wash tub under the bed. It's out of the way. It's not going to tip over. If it does tip over, it's in a wash tub. It's the only thing in there. So.
Yep. Just keep the moisture out. Ventilation is important. So leave your bathroom door open. Both your bathroom doors open.
If it's winter, open up underneath the sink.
Sink, right. Yeah. So that air can flow in there. You just want airflow. So we also leave we open up our shower curtain and our shower door.
Right.
Just so you have as much airflow as possible.
Right. And something that I didn't think about until we were going to be gone and I was getting the house ready, your house plants. I held them all to our daughters. And she took care of them.
You got to find somebody to babysit those house plants because they're not going to last.
No.
Now, if you're only going to be gone
2 weeks,
a week or something like that, another thing you can do is put the house plants in the bathtub and put about 1 inch of water in the bathtub, and that'll help you. I learned that on Facebook hack. So.
Oh, I was wondering how you knew that.
You could put that in the in the bathtub. But you know, if you go much more than a week or so without daylight, it's gonna affect the plants.
Yeah.
But,
Also, find someone that will, if you're leaving a vehicle here, like when we left for Alaska, my car stayed here. And I have a friend who has the exact same car I do. And so she came over like every 3 weeks and just used my car to do her errands. And that way
you don't want to leave the car sit for 4 months without being driven or something like that. So you have somebody to drive your car. Either that, or you have to go through a process of I want to say winterizing, but making sure the car is, you know, you have to jack it up, get it off the tires. You have to put stables in the gas. There's some things like that. We just had Nancy's friend come over, and she took it on her errands once a month, and that was that.
Yeah. Yard work. If it's summertime, you've got to have someone come and cut your grass, which we found. There's a widowed lady 2 doors up from us, and so Ed just walked up and talked to her lawn care people, and they came, and you just pay online. Did you sell the money?
They actually cut me a deal because they were already here anyway.
Right.
And so what I did, now it's strictly up to you, is I just said, I just want the bare minimum done on landscaping. Basically just to keep people from complaining. So
no weed eating, and so it was awful. But
when we came back, it was a little bit bushy.
Hairy.
He actually did a little bit of weed eating around the drive and things like that. But I think we had it set up where I paid online. Is he would send me a picture along with, he'd send me the invoice and a picture, and really I just pushed the button and paid it online. So I made sure I paid him on time every time. So
it worked out good.
You don't have to worry about it. Somebody will do it for you.
Okay, so a few things that you would need to take with you. There's many, but these are like some highlights.
And some things you wouldn't think about.
Right. And that would be like the dog supplies, flea medicine, flea and tick and heartworm medicine you need to take with you. If your dog, like Herky, only uses a certain kind of food that you can only get, not every store carries it, take extra with you. On our top.
You always have the Chewy option available, like ordering from Chewy.com on the road. But
you'd need to be at a certain place for. So on the car top carrier on top of the Runaway, we had 4 or 5 bags of Herky's dog food that comes in the small bags like this. And so we had that up there. Also his vet papers, all his shot records.
You're going to need that because if you cross a border, you have to have it. Also,
some
campgrounds. So we keep the records and a copy of that, and I also email those to myself so that I have a place that I can go. If for some reason we lost it, I have those emailed to me.
Yeah, and our medicines. So we take some prescriptions and then some vitamins.
We're not on a lot of prescriptions.
But once a week, I, like everybody else, put them in the little box, so you just open that up, blah, blah, blah. But I take all of our bottles with us. Because we were going into Canada, I wasn't sure, I just wasn't sure crossing the border. So I took all of our bottles, and then once a week on the road, I would fill up our little containers. So that helps.
So we found that what we try to do is get a 90-day supply from the doctor.
Yeah, you talk to your doctor.
And that's been very helpful. Also, we just use we use Walgreens.
Yeah.
And we have been in a situation before where we needed something, and you can go in there and get what you need. So because you're in the system, and they'll refill your prescription if you run out on the road. But 90 days other thing,
helps.
I think we mentioned this in another video before, is our doctor's really good, and has give us some emergency type antibiotics and things like that. So we carry antibiotics for urinary tract infection, for traveler's stomach, like
Diarrhea.
if you got something. So
and an antibiotic.
Antibiotic
right.
for that. So
if you get sick or whatever. Yeah.
There's also I don't know the name of it, but there's also some companies that I've seen advertised that you can buy like a travel pack, and they get a doctor that comes online with you and helps you decide, like an emergency medicine. Our doctor's excellent. He just does that.
Yeah, and our vet is the same. Another thing, we actually thought of this like the last 2 days before we left on our big trip. Was we took our prescription, our glass prescription with our eye prescription. What am I trying to say?
Yeah.
Eye prescription.
Eye prescription. The other thing too is I carry an extra pair of glasses.
Right, we both do.
We take extra.
Our old pair goes
glasses.
in. Yeah.
Because without
yeah, I'm blind.
She's blind without it, and I can't read without glasses.
Yeah,
so,
I'm just blind.
I can see far away, but I can't see anything.
I can't see far away or up close. So anyway, at the last minute, I put those in. I have a traveling notebook that I take with us, and I've got like plastic sleeves in the back, and that's in there, and other stuff that we may or may not need. Another crazy thing I do is we send out postcards to different people in our church that are shut-ins.
It's an encouragement to people, and also helps you keep a connection back home when you're gone for a long time. Right.
So I bought a bunch of postcard stamps and had those with us, and regular stamps because some people, when we were on the road was like, oh, I would love a sticker from there. So I grabbed it, and I always have like little note cards with me if we happen to meet somebody or stay at someone's house unexpectedly. I can write them a little note. And so I've sent stickers home to people. Somebody wanted a leaf from the Arctic Circle. I sent that. So stamps, postcard stamps, it's just a good thing to have.
I can't say enough good things about sending somebody a little letter or a little encouragement, especially those postal cards. They just go a long way in making somebody's day. So and they don't cost much.
No, and then a couple over in Ohio that we know, they had sent us a message on Facebook saying, "You're doing our dream trip. We've always wanted to do this, and now for health reasons,
they can't.
It's impossible." So we bought him a hat, an Alaska hat, and a mug, and I sent a packet of sourdough starter and some other stuff in a little box and mailed it to him.
Connections to people when you're gone are important for us.
Yeah.
But
it just made their day.
That's one of the things we missed. So
yeah, we didn't tell them it was coming, and it was just a surprise to them to get it in the mail, and they just loved it. So
good stuff.
Yeah. So just be prepared for that. Like I had packing tape with me, and I found a box like at Walmart. You know how they're always stocking shelves and there's boxes. I found a small box and
just do things like that.
It's good, you're on a trip of a lifetime, but it's nice to think of other people and let them know you're thinking of them, that you don't take what you get to do for granted, because there's people who would love to do it that can't do it.
For some reason, various reasons they weren't able to do it. So
and now they cannot.
We don't take this for granted.
No.
It's been great. So.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the bottom of our list.
But I will have Ed show you my notebook.
Kind of off the cuff video, something we've been thinking about. This more Nancy's been thinking about than I have. But
you know what? If there's anything else you want to know, like how did you do this or how did you do that or this is what I do, let us know.
Let us know.
If you have some ideas that we didn't cover, I would love to know them, because I love stuff like this. I have a list in my notebook that
we're kind of homebound right now. We've been building up the travel fund again.
Yes.
So,
and our kids come home on Monday. We go to the airport tomorrow and pick up the Costa Ricans, and I'm so excited.
The Ticos.
The Ticos.
The Ticos.
Ticos.
That's what you call it. Tico is somebody from Costa Rica.
Yes. So I'm pretty excited about that. And So yeah.
After that, we'll be back on the road traveling again.
Right.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed this.
But during this time, we'll do these 5 things again.
Yep. Hope it was helpful. And
if you have ideas or you have a question of how we do something we didn't cover, let us know.
All right. We'll see you again next week.
Bye now.